Hey everybody, it's me again, Alan, back on the 42RE out of the 03 Dakota pickup. This video we're going to work on getting the valve body reassembled, or we got to take it apart and reassemble it with fresh parts. So let's just get right into it. If you remember in the last video, we got as far as finishing all the seals and bushings. The last two videos we did all the seals and bushings, and we got this installed and this installed, and we were waiting on a new band for this drum here, which we have right here. So there's the new band with fresh spider webs. It's the season, man. Spider webs just pop up overnight here. It's crazy. So we'll get that installed. We'll toss this guy away with all the rest of those old parts, and we'll put all these pieces back in there real quick like, and then we'll take this apart. And make sure you've got your dowel pin inserted in there. Slide this band in from the back, and there's plenty of clearance there. But now will it go on to the sprag? Whew. Good thing I lubed it up. I could do that by hand. Now we can push that all the way down against that other pin. Reinstall the rocker arm in this pin. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now we can adjust this down to where it just grips the drum. There you go. I'm happy with that. Feels like the exact same spot. You can still spin it by hand, but there's no play in the band this way. Probably tight. Booyah. Alright, now we're going to stick this thrust plate on here. And there's these three-pronged washer that's going to go into here first. Oh, yeah, you. And it only goes in one way, and I got lucky you did it the first time. We're going to stick some gel on that so it stays. Stick that washer on there. I should have this standing up on end actually, because this isn't wanting to fall straight. Okay, now make sure that thrust washer's still in place. Oh man, this is slippery. Go. Alright, now with the band in this direction, the hook over here, I'm going to slide it around the drum. And you've got this here. And the pin. And then we got to put that plate in there. Then there's going to be that screw coming in from the other side here to adjust the play. Now there's like a dowel pin or indention on both of these items, so it should lock right in place like that. Then we can insert the screw over there. So it just grabs it, just gets on the drum. Probably good right there. Now this 3/8 plug is going to go back in the case to keep that dowel pin in. Have a tiny bit of Loctite on there. Alright, now we can put this pump in. We've already aligned up the two halves of the pump earlier in another video. Let's see, which way does this go? Like that. Slippery. Alright. Put some bolts in her. Alright, don't forget your gasket or you'll be pulling it back out. I'm going to tighten these bolts to 15 foot-pounds. Get them all pretty much there first. And that's it for the case for now. We can set this on the ground and get to work on the valve body. Alright, so this plate here that's holding in the spring has screws that are slightly longer than the plates on the other side of the valve body, the other three plates. All these screws are the same for these three plates. One of these plates we're going to have to drill out, so you don't have to worry about mixing those screws up. But this plate here that holds in the spring, those are slightly longer. So we'll pull this out. Set that stuff aside. Alright, so this gear shift selector here will slide right off. And there's a detent, the ball here for the detent spring. Keep that in mind. Now I'm going to remove pretty much everything that's easily accessible within reason, just to help get all the old fluid out. So apparently there's only two screws that are different here. One's long, one's short, and the rest are all medium. But first we got to get this pried open. And get this boost pipe out of the way. So that's going to be the short one right here in the short boss. And that's going to be the long one over here on this tall boss. Pretty simple. Short, tall, the rest are the same. There's a separator plate, one of them anyways. And there's supposed to be some check balls in here, or one in this side. Is this the side that has one check ball right there? And the other side has 6 or 7 or something. A little tiny guy. And this midsection. And another separator plate, which has a screw in it. We'll have to take that screw off. But it's obvious where these balls go in all these elongated slots. So that one, that's like, but it's still a round slot. And then this large one in the large elongated slot. Alright, we gotta remove this here to get the valves out of it, because we gotta do some modifications to it. Knock all these check balls out. And we'll also remove, and then let this drain. We'll hold this upside down and let it drain a little bit. We're going to be replacing this spring. We'll get there in a second. We got a grind on this valve. We got to add springs behind this pressure regulator valve. I don't think we have to do anything to this one. Now remove the one screw here and set it aside. And there is a check ball right there. And a plastic one. We'll keep those guys together, separate from these ones, just for shits and giggles. Okay, now this valve body is empty. Part of it, this part of it is anyway. Let's keep disassembling here. Careful with that. Oh, careful with that. Supposed to keep my thumb over it. And the last two valves of this section are behind this plate. So let's get that off. There's another valve in there. I think we can push it through here. Okay, that is the valve body disassembled. And now that I've got everything disassembled, I can go through carefully, meticulously, and just kind of clean each part little by little, put it all back in its place, and then we can swap out the pieces that need to be swapped out with the parts from the rebuild kit. So it might be kind of hard to tell in the GoPro, but there's a little bit of mushrooming here from the steel check ball. So we gotta hammer that down flat again. There we go, hole is flat again. And a little filing to make it round again. Alright, just some water and a drop of dish soap. We're going to turn this thing from blah. Alright, we're looking good. We're touching every part now. And I've put this on another valve piece of the valve body so it's more flat than the tabletop here. And I'm holding the glass down on a piece of the valve body so I don't warp the glass with my fingers, but that's looking pretty good. Okay, we've got everything cleaned up. Now we're on to the shift kit part of this valve body. And we'll start at step one. That's drilling the hole right here through the thing, and it says 0762096. I wrote down a conversion here of the drill bits I have, 1/16, 5/64, 3/37, 7/64, and what they are as a decimal. So 076 to 096, I've got a 3/32, which is 093. I'm only going to do one, but it's going to be on the larger side. So here we go right through the aluminum. And right through my finger. Step one done. One hole is slightly firmer lockup, two holes is much firmer. We're just trying to make it slightly better than stock. We're not putting extra horsepower into it, so but I'm also kind of a victim of the drill bits I have too on some of these steps. Step 2 is flip it over, and we're going to put a notch right here. Just file a notch right down the side of this hole. You can see just like this one here. This has a notch going right down across the hole. We're going to do the same thing right there. That's what it looks like. We come down here about half the thickness and we're good. Okay, on to the next page. So they're calling this a mumbly peg, and it's actually got like a concaved dished section here for the ball to sit against. What do I just do with that? Insert the spring and the ball, the peg, concave up against the ball, and just to hold it there in place for now. Now this section right here, replace the weak retainer, this horseshoe thing, with the new stronger retainer, which is this one. So I think that's where these things go. We'll slide in that guy. Then this one. And the spring goes over it. There we go. A little fingernail action there. There's also a new design manual valve. Now this has a tapered seat that needs to line up flush with one of the landings in there. Well, we're skipping step 3. I'm just looking at pictures. So let's do step 3, which is grind. I have the foreland. We're going to grind this one. Just put an angle on her. This hurts my soul. We want to go about half the distance, which is pretty much the thickness of my file in my case. There we go. You see we're about halfway through. Alright, flip this over and we're going to put this where we drilled the 1 or 2 holes. Still goes in, so that's good. Okay, so here's the detent, or the rooster comb, whatever. We need to pull this pin out without losing the ball inside. Okay, now we got to put it all the way in park. But don't forget to put the switch in. Summoner. Will it go in now? It won't go in now. I got to pull this back out. Just enough. Okay, now park. Now we gotta see if that land is flush with the 4th one in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like this shows. 1, 2, 3, 4. This tapered land needs to be flush with this edge of it. Let me get a light. And it is perfectly flush. Oh man, I don't even have to bend the arm. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Looks like I do have the LR hole. We're gonna start with the first. Just start up top. They didn't number these ones, these steps. I do have the hole, so I need to make sure I put that tiny check ball right there. For snowplow only. I don't need to drill it out. We'll just put the ball back where it was, like it came. It's not a snowplow, we're not going to drill it out. The rest of it though, hole A, it's right here. That's already drilled out, and it says, okay if already larger. B, is I circled B. I do need to drill that out. And that is this one. Yep, right at the point of this triangle. Kind of like a, yep. Oh no, wait, that's 1, 2. B is right there. That's already drilled out also. Okay, so don't need to drill out A or B. In my case, hole 1, 2, that is the one at the tip of the triangle. Need to drill out the 16th plus some. Like so, just to waller it out a little bit. Use the 16th inch drill bit and waller it out. Okay, tip of the triangle. It's already drilled out. And it's a slightly larger than the 16th, so okay, it does V6 that I have, so we're good. The hole 2, 3, that's this one right here. Light duty vehicles 08 to 06, 330 seconds is 093. So I'm gonna go put that drill bit back in. Let's see, where are we at? 16th. And my conversion chart says the 16th is 062. So we must be in the light duty section 082 to 086. 564. 78. So let's see if that fits also. It does fit. And it does feel like there's the slightest play. So I think we're gonna leave this alone as well. It's not a heavy load, it's a V6. He's not pulling stuff, he's not souped up. So we'll leave that alone. There's a check ball if channel has tub here. So mine does have a tub, and I do have that small ball. You can see a clean line where that ball has been riding, so I'm just going to put the balls back where they came from, basically. And now we're going to start putting this part of the valve body together. So that's simple enough. We're just going to put these things back in their spots. Put the plates back over them. Okay, well the ATSG manual says I need to start on this side first with the throttle pressure spring and valve. Alright, a little bit of lubrication might help here. Okay, and the tiny plate and 2 tiny screws. Okay, next we're supposed to install this spring in here, which I already did that, and put the plug in here and get a little lube on that. Never hurt. So I'm going to install this big guy all the way over here like that. I'm going to install this little one right here. like that, and install this one in here. Now we'll take this plate, and install this just like that. It could be these ones. Okay, now we can do the governor plug. All these governor plugs. And put on this cover. Flip it over this way, and we can install the shuttle valve cover and the boost valve cover. This boost valve, though, I already put this in the new retainer part of the shift kit. This boost valve, I'm going to drill this out to 68 thousandths, I think it was. So I think this is actually already drilled out to 69 thousandths, because this is the 16th, which is 62 thousandths, and that's kind of loose. Alright, next we can put in our switch valve. This is the one we grinded down. And that'll just hang out for now. A regulator valve. I'll hang that out for now. This is our throttle valve, our throttle spring, and our kick down valve. All of that goes in there like that. Boing, 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 boing. Okay, so I'm just going in the order the ATSG manual says to go in. So we're going to do the 3/4 accumulator piston and seals now. Come on out of there. These have like little orange or copper speckles on them. Mine do not, but that's okay. They are two different sizes and they do fit, so we'll go with that. Cover this in some trans gel. There we go. And we're going to put that new spring, the one that usually breaks on everybody, but we're going to put the new one in anyways, even though mine wasn't broken. I'm going to put the cover plate on with some screws. Now over here onto the lower housing, we're going to put in these guys here. push this in with something. Slide in this clip. With the spring, and this plug will go there. Oh, I had the valve in backwards. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that was easy. The slide method. Now to the other end of it, I'll put in this spring first, then this valve, then I'm going to put in this valve, this spring, and this plug. Now we're in. Just needed some convincing. Alright, and then we'll set this aside now. It's time to work on this guy. I'm gonna put that there. Put that one there. And we're gonna put a screen on here. Put in our plate. Put a screw here as well. Now what we need to do is, there's two here. I need alignment. I believe one is here. And the other's there, or there. It's got to be this one. Now it's time to start putting these things together. Now, Everything, all these bolts are getting tightened to 35 inch-pounds according to the ATSG manual. Ooh, did it. Okay. Well, it's like right where you don't want to go any further. I'm not sure how much of this is going to stay in, but it's better to be lubed than not lubed. Put that check ball in the tub. Slide that plate on. Oh, that's the tall one. And then this is the short one. And the rest of these will go where they're supposed to go. Start them all by hand. Alright, the last part of the kit is the spring here for this pressure regulator valve here. I'm going to put on this shim. Then this washer with the flat side going that way with room, nice. Now we're replacing the original spring with a new spring and an additional spring inside. And then the same spring goes here. Oh, and then this guy. Line the spring up. There we go. Okay, all those get tightened up to 35 inch-pounds. Alright, got some fresh O-rings on there. Now we can slide her together. And don't forget the gasket under this guy. And this valve body is done. Whoa! Come on now. Yes. I think it goes this way. I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Oh. Dipstick tube grommet. Put that in over here. Boom. Now let's see if we can slide this in. How does this go? Guess it goes in that hole. Bingo! Oh, that's him. 'Cause we're flush. Now put in the valve body bolts. And there's 10 bolts holding it in. 4 right here around this big guy. Uno, dos, tres. And then uno, dos, tres. Now I would torque these to 105 inch-pounds. Booyah. Oh, nice. I was almost already there by hand. Now we gotta put a new filter on. With the 2 mega long bolts, we torque those down back to 35 inch-pounds, like all the other Torx bolts were. Now it is kind of important to torque these because it can be like crooked, and you want that seal to not be crooked. There's Uno. There we go. And I just need to throw the pan on now, but it's still covered in, it's still gross and dirty. All right, put on this gasket here somewhere. Which way does it go? I think that's the way. Let's see if I can lift this thing up and put it on there. Yeah, right. This overdrive section is about as heavy as the whole transmission is. There it goes. I put the bolts in that. Put this little cover back on here with a fresh gasket. Put a new O-ring on this. We're going to put that in. Add a new O-ring on the gear sensor, whatever this is. I don't know what it is, but it's got a new O-ring. And it's a little tricky because it's spring loaded. There we go. Put some bolts in it. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to put it in the Dodge Dakota and see if it all works. Let me know what you guys think about the shift repair kit. That was fun. I only drilled like one hole. I didn't have to drill any holes because this is a 2003. It's not older, I guess. A lot of those problems occur with the earlier versions. So I didn't have to drill any holes in the plates, but I did drill one in the valve body and added that notch, and we grinded that valve. Let me know what you guys think about that, and if you've done it or anything in the comments below. Please like, please subscribe, please hit the bell, because there's a lot more to come after this if this all runs good. I've got disc brake conversion to do on the OBS in the rear of it. I've got still got to install this in the Magnum. That's an aluminum coolant overflow tank. I got struts and shocks to put on the Magnum. I got all kinds of stuff to do. I might have to do like a radiator in a different OBS, but we'll see. Till next time, guys. Peace.